Hello YouTube. I have this gift set here that was sent to me from thepinfountain.com. So I thought I'd share it with you guys in this video. Alright, well let's just take a look at the case real quick before I crack her open. You can see here it's kind of one of those, I don't know if you call it kind of a fall leatherette type thing. I know it's not leather, but it's a nice little cover. It's got this cord thread going here, just like Levi jeans. You can just run your finger along there and it goes all the way around. So that's pretty cool. And it has these gold lettering. And as usual, my Chinese is very rusty, so I have no idea what that says. And then it has this symbol in the middle, which is clearly a pin right there going through this three-ring circle thing. So let's go ahead and crack her open, check her out. Alright, so on the inside, immediately you see you have one of these felt covers, a black one, and you put your pin in there, keep it nice and protected. I have a couple of these with my other nice pins, so it's nice to have. So that comes with your gift set. And then you can see we have a fountain pen, and then we have what appears to be 2 additional nibs. Now, let's just take a look at the fountain pen first. You can see it's got a nice glossy black outer shell here. And the back tip here, it's golden. On the other end, it's also gold. The pocket clip is also plated gold. Gold plated, not real gold, just gold coloring, of course. And also the center band, which is part of the clip and part of the pin itself, as you can see. The 2 split apart, and it looks like one band when it comes together. Okay. Then we take a look at that nib on there. Get a nice close up there, and you can see the design. Now it's very small lettering on there. I'm not quite sure what it says, so let me bring on the magnifying glass here and see if we can make it out. Almost looks like it says wing. Wing song. Is that what that says? W-I-N-G-S-U-N-G. Yeah. Wing song. Wing song. I don't know what that means. Google. Okay. We'll open it up to see what kind of a nib it is, and we can see that it's one of those pump type that you, in this case here, if you remember my last video on a fountain pen, it came with the one where you screwed it, you turn this thing around, and the little suction pump thing, the plunger, would go in and out. This one here appears to use one of those slider types. As you can see here, you just slide that, and you can see the right there that just slides back and forth, and there's a spring in there too. And so as you go into your ink, you would just slide that up and it will fill the reservoir up with your ink. All right. And I'll put that back in the pen. Keep it all nice and protected. We'll take a look at what else we have here. Okay, now this nib also, of course, comes black with a gold band near the nib. You can see that the width of the nib, or the whole nib face here, is the same as the other one, but the difference with this one, it has a curved nib right there. You can see that it's curved. And I've seen this referred to as like a calligraphy type of a fountain pen with this curved point. So it's not damaged. It actually comes that way. So that's also got the little converter here, allowing you to slurp the ink up in here, and so you don't need to, you know, buy the little cartridges you push in. It comes with its own converter. So we got 2 converters so far here, and it looks like we got a third one. So looks like we got lots of converters to go around, which is nice. And this one also has a protective plastic cover on it. You pull that off. And now this one here has a very interesting nib. It is a fine nib. If you take a look at that, a fine point nib. And it's got this hood type thing there. It's a gold hood. So we have ourselves, I guess, what you would call a hooded nib. And of course the black theme going on here as well. And the converter, where you can just slide the old plunger up and down. And they all have this little spring in there. You can see that little spring right there. All right. Now I better put the cover back on. Now, like I said, this was sent by the Pen Fountain, so it's penfountain.com. And once again, sorry about my close-ups of my nails, but this time I was staining a piece of furniture that I had sanded down, and I was staining with some really dark ebony stain, and it got all over my hand. And you know what? No matter what I do, I just can't keep my nails clean because I'm constantly working with all kinds of colorful liquids and stuff, for whether I'd be painting, drawing, staining in this case. What's a guy to do, huh? Okay. All right, well, now would be a good time to actually write with these and, you know, see how they are. So let's check them out. Now, when I received these pens, they were kind enough to send me 3 of these cartridges. They look like, let's see here. 2 of them look identical, and then one of them looks a little stubby. So I imagine they all fit just fine. However, the last time I did a fountain pen demonstration, I used these. And so what I decided to do is I went out and I purchased a bottle of fountain pen ink. And this one here is called Pelican 4001. And I got royal blue because it just looks like a really pretty color. Just look at that color. Isn't that something? All right. So I'm going to use that. Now, this is going to be the first time that I've ever actually done something like this. I'm definitely no expert when it comes to fountain pens. So this is kind of like, you know, let's see if Rix can do it. And if Rix can do it, so can you. How's that? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the first pin out here. This is the one with the medium nib on it. Okay, and let me move that to the side here. And so what I'm going to do is I got to unscrew this thing, and that's going to expose the converter that's in here, and this has that slide converter. And so I got the plunger pushed all the way towards the nib. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the ink. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. Wow. Okay. And then I'm going to carefully just put the nib into the ink and then start pulling up on this sliding thing. See if I can get ink to draw in here. Okay, I got something in there. So obviously I can't be too timid. I'm going to have to get a little more into the ink to do this. So I'm going to go a little deeper. Okay, now I'm going to pull that up. And sure enough, I just brought in a whole bunch of ink. Now, what I need to do is I need to get the air out of this. So I'm going to push that up. Okay, so had a little bubble of ink coming out there. So I think I'm good. See how we doing there? Yep. Doesn't look like I got any air in there now, so that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and screw the base back to the nib here. And I'm going to move this out of the way and get us some paper. Now, I don't like having ink all over the back side of the nib here, so I'm going to get that because I like to keep that gold nice and shiny. Let me get that nice and clean too. And she should be ready to write with. So let's see how this works, okay? All right. This is the wing sung medium nib. Okay, this is part of the 3-in-1 gift set. I guess it's called Iraurita. Iraurita. I think that's how it is. Okay, fountain pen set. It writes very nice. I like it. Now, personally for me, I have big hands. And this particular pen is a little bit small for my hand. And I think this would be a great gift for someone with smaller hands. Now, if you thought my nails and everything were messed up from that black stain, now look what I got. Blue fingers. So be careful because it's kind of messy to load in your own ink, especially if you're a rookie like me. All right, well that's that pen. Now let's try the other ones. So I'm going to pull this over to the side here, and the next one we'll do here is, let me put the converter back in. Okay, this is going to be the curved nib, so you can do your calligraphy, and we'll test that out. And again, let me get the ink so I can make a mess. Push the plunger all the way down and put your nib into the ink, and then slurp it up. I'm going to say that I'm actually very partial to the converters that you twist. I'm not a big fan of this sliding mechanism here, but I mean, it works just fine. There we go. I just pulled in the ink, and now I'm going to kind of tap it like this so I can make the air go to the top, and then I'm going to start pressing forward to get some of that air out. All right, and I'm just making a big mess. So, there we go. Big messy Rix. I'm going to put that in its little holder there. Okay, now it's time for the, what does that look like? Looks like Apple Computer, don't it? Let's just make the little, there you go. All right, now for the calligraphy thing. Right. Hello. Okay, so I can write really bold. Now, the way I see this working is that if I hold the pen and write like straight down, let's say I draw a line straight down, okay, notice, and I'm going to scan this or zoom in here, notice the thickness of this line. Now I'm going to do this sideways, and you should immediately see that now it makes a bolder line. So this pen here is excellent for calligraphy because if you write like this, okay, when you go up, okay, and you're writing your letters, you're going to get the thin lines going up and down, and you're going to get the thick lines going this way. Okay, so like I'm going to go H, okay, I, L, I, Chile. Okay, I'm very bad at calligraphy. All right. Yay! All right. So there you go with that one. And now let's do the next one. I got all this ink in here. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to squeeze that all back in the bottle. Because I don't know when I'll be coming back to this particular pen, and I don't want ink just sitting in there. Okay. Same with this little puppy. All right. And now for the last one. The hooded fine point. The hooded fine point. Check that out. All right. Well, time to do this again. I think I really respect these now. Because, you know, this is kind of, you got to be really into fountain pens to want to suck up ink all day long with these things. Listen. All right. And I just sucked up all that ink. Like a doctor, you know. Say hello to my little friend! And let me get this messy ink out of the way. Let's hook this puppy up. Let's go to town. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Whoops, sorry about that. And that looks pretty good. So fine point. So it's very interesting trying out these different pens, and I'm going to squeeze that ink back in there too. Probably going to get all kinds of harsh comments about, you're not supposed to do that, like last time. Okay, so I have removed the ink out of those converters, but I need to get the inks out of here. And it looks like there's a lot of residual ink still in these converters. Yeah. But I'm sure that it won't take too long to empty this out. Man, when is this ink going to stop writing? These things are supposed to be empty. And they just keep writing and writing and writing and writing. They write nice. They all have their unique features. This writes really fine. This writes really bold and fine, depending on which way you hold the pen. And this has a medium point. It's got a very good look to it. It will look nice in your pocket. A nice gift to give to a friend, family, or whoever. Well, thanks again for watching. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Man, is this thing going to ever run out of ink?